start. Who is here? Who is in tonight? We have Pete Webb, Mark Gray, Rifleman O'Kirka is here. Oh dear. Deathly Darkness. Craig Matthews is here. Ketchup and Rice, Wetware Error. Justin Thomas Martin's here. Mike Burke. Zeeble the Fat. Matty England. Zem. Mr. Pugh. All common names that I recognise in our channel. Horvath Smoke. And the names are flying up, and that means things are live. So, good evening, technical family. It's time for a live stream. For those who don't know, there are live streams on another channel called Big Clive Live. I don't push it too much because it's very different from the normal channel because, well, A, there's a face involved, and B, there's sometimes alcohol involved and things get said that's more like a big pub meeting that people just gather around and talk rubbish. And that's what we do. Sometimes it even encompasses technology. Now, if I'm going to be, well, younger than I expected and here, says Mick Spanner, I am very young. Not really. So if I'm going by tradition from the other channel, since the other channel was born out of company for those trapped at home during COVID, as a joke, we kind of started the sterilization with the ultraviolet wand, which is the completely wrong wavelength, but it didn't stop the Chinese selling the wrong wavelength ones. So I'm going to sanitize everybody with ultraviolet. Prepare to be scanned. This is also the point that YouTube will decide, oh, something really major happened there, and that will be the thumbnail. I shall scan myself as well. Does it make me prettier? No, it does not. That's unfortunate. There will also be a Jaeger Munion. Can you recommend the best headlight? Yes, I can recommend the best headlight shortly, Anon, because that video is coming up. Hold on, I'll show you the best headlight right at the moment. Core brand, he said, holding it up where it doesn't say Core. Core. I bought this one locally, commonly available on eBay and other places. It's the one that has like multiple intensity settings. It is hackable, as you'll see in the video. It has the infrared detector, so it turns on when you put your hand in front if you wish. Doesn't really matter. And it's got better features. It's just better designed. It's my new favourite head torch. I have hacked it, obviously. I've lowered the intensity for even longer battery life. And it is rechargeable. Kevin Hursty, flames will happen on the half hour. I'm already drunk. Does that count, says Max? You're welcome to get drunk. I mean, really, the best way to view the live streams is to have a little drink and have some snacks on hand and just chill out. This is going to be a 1 hour live stream now. The regulars will be saying that's never going to happen. It is going to be a 1 hour live stream. I'm going to discipline myself and not go on forever, as sometimes happens. Any orange? Well, sadly, happy little fox, AK Benji. I was going to have some orange LEDs, but I've got warm white LEDs. You're just going to have to pretend they're orange. There is an orange cable here, but I'm not going to unplug it since that would end the stream rather abruptly. His meter is about to run out. What? Meter? Why the change of day? It's not a change of day now, Baron. There's not normally even live streams on this channel because this is the main channel. The live stream, the normal one, will be happening on Saturday as normal. 1 hour, I'll stay awake then, Liz Edwards. Absolutely. I did notice you dotty in and out. I guessed maybe you are falling asleep. What's the big orange thing on top of your bins? That is a power pack for powering that LED message center. The type of message center that you might find in the windows of Asian corner shops. Kind of fascinating. I'll make a video about that someday. It's built out of random pieces from AliExpress, and it's quite nice. How shit is CCA? Like, can it be used at all, Peter Stevens? Copper-coated aluminium, I would not recommend using that at all. It's just a bad idea. Normally because they make it so thin, and it's just prone to bad connections because even with the copper coating, it doesn't seem to make good connections. Things are good, thank you, Corey Baker. Hey, Clive, don't tell my boss I'm watching while working. Oh, that's okay. That's also the best place to watch the streams is from work. Jaeger Munion. Jaeger Munion is a tradition in the stream. Little communion glasses, plastic communion glasses, with Jägermeister in them, where I toast something suitable to all the technical people that make the world go round. CCA Glasgow, Mercury 2. We don't talk about that place. We do not talk about the CCA Glasgow and the architects that were involved in it. In order to attend the stream, I witnessed an air freshener ad. That's good. I'm glad you did, Pegtooth. That's more chemicals for your ear. Smallest shot I've seen it is extremely small, but the advantage of that is that you can actually make a 3D printed frame. I don't even know if that's still up on another channel, that will accommodate multiple shots in a component cabinet drawer, and therefore you can drink secretly at work. Not that I would do such things. I would just drink openly at work. There is an Ave hammer. The Ave hammer has been used to smash things. Usually people grow out of Jägermeister, cool cat. You mean the novelty wears off? I like it. I want to make the world go round backwards, James Randolph. Could you tell us before you do that? Thank you. That would be very good. Thank you, Socrates. Only 1 hour, we can do better than that, lads. No, but keep in mind there will be a 2-hour stream tomorrow on the other channel, Big Clive Live. Mouse picture badge not working. That's a worthy subject because, hold on, I'm turning the mouse pewter on. Non-regulars to the live channel will not know that usually there's big supercomputers everywhere. They're not, well, they are everywhere. That are just randomly masses of blinking lights. Unfortunately, have been displaced, all of them, by one message center at the moment. Eat the battery. Well, that is why it's being featured, because Mouse has come up with a solution for that. You see, it turns out that there are Karens monitoring. Why, thank you, Kayvon Javid. I've been subbed since Ashen's mentioned his channel ages ago. Keep it up. Thank you for that. Much appreciated. I'm going to have to keep my eye on this because the comments are going up quite quickly, the chat. Mouse has worked on this. Told you about the mouse pewter 8 minutes ago. All right, okay, sorry, Mark. I can't. If I look down at the chat, it's just going up so quite quickly that it's a distraction when I'm trying to talk about stuff. But here is the new improved mouse pewter, which is the same mouse pewter. Bluetooth is up there indeed. The mouse pewter now has a little circuit board stuck in the back that will hold in place a cable tie to stop small children taking the battery out and eating it. The reason for this is that Mouse was selling these on Etsy, and they were very popular until Karen had them all removed because she felt that it might have been a guy. A Karen, we won't be gender specific here. They felt that a baby might eat the battery out of it. It's not easy to get the battery out. Also, I've never stuck a 2032 lithium cell in my mouth. I wouldn't expect it to be terribly nice. Your slow mode for chat is on, that will help. It will indeed, Liam. I turned it on. It's necessitated. It also filters out the sex bots. Do the Bluetooth. What? Do the Bluetooth. I'm trying to think how you would actually do the Bluetooth. It involves some derogatory statement about Popeye and doing Olive. Now they can eat the whole mouse pewter. They're going to have to eat the whole thing now, but it's quite lumpy and knobbly. At least they'll be able to locate it from the glowing inside them. Thank you, Deathly Darkness. Here we are on the main channel. Hi, Mom. Check me out on the Discord. Okay. What does lithium batteries taste like? Do you want me to taste one right now? I could lick it and tell you if is it unpleasant. Stick it in your mouth. I'll go and get a lithium battery, a new one, and we'll stick it in my mouth. For obvious reasons, I'm not going to swallow this. Facebook is completely down, really. That's going to upset a lot of people. Tastes like shock. I would expect it to. No, that's very sour. I don't think babies would like that. I'll try it down the tongue. No. Tastes metallic as well. That's probably due to electrolysis, but you know what? It had to be done. Oh, I didn't realise it was the main channel. Is that why the Friday stream will hold? It's just an extra stream, but there will be the usual Saturday stream tomorrow. I'm scrolling up and down. It does taste horrible. Not nice. So I don't see children eating it. The coin cell batteries now come in a version that have an awful tasting coating, James Randolph. That makes sense. Bitrex would stop the kids eating the batteries. Is there a history of kids eating the batteries in the past? I'm not really sure. If you use a lithium battery, does it stop you feeling depressed? Well, to be honest, well, first of all, the electrolysis is the biggest issue here, I think. I'm just looking down here. Electrolysis is the biggest issue in your stomach. It's going to cause chemical problems and damage to your flesh. Thank you, Dimi VDV. No crumbs. No crumbs at all yet. Um, but I'm not really sure because they do contain quite a lot of lithium, the non-rechargeables. The bizarre thing is that a non-rechargeable lithium cell contains a lot more lithium than a rechargeable lithium cell. Naomi has the mouse computer on as well. That's good. The ads for the demographics watching this, what the adverts? Thank you, DOS75, much appreciated. I really appreciate your videos. One thing I've always been thinking, why is your house so cold? Is it for economic reasons? Myself prefer it cold because I'd get too warm otherwise, but not a temperature people usually like. Cheers from Sweden. It's because I spent my whole life working outdoors. I live on my own. I just don't like a hot house. When I go into other people's houses and they're hot, it's very hard to breathe. It just feels clammy and overbearing. So I like a cold house. I've always liked a cold house. Where exactly is your accent from? East Scotland somewhere, Bonna Design. East Kilbride and then Glasgow. So really Glasgowish, but not typical of those. Mouse has relisted the badges. There is actually a link down in the description to Mouse's badges. And Evolution's computers. Live reminder. Oh, Craig Matthews, you're right. That if you've just joined the stream, I should have done this at the beginning. If you've just joined the stream, make sure that you're right along there at the live bit and it's not started you right at the beginning down here, because that is so annoying when it does that. Thank you, Hylian Overlord. Much appreciated. Just some good old-fashioned CYA. But sometimes it starts at the beginning. Just make sure you're in the live bit if it is still streaming live. Craig Matthews, I've been telling you for ages. Again, I've not been watching the chat so much because it shoots up so quickly. The Jamie's boy, East Kilbride, just along the road from there. What's the flag on the wall? It is a mysterious flag, Gnome the Japanese made. Walter Russell, indeed. Has the LED fireplace been modded? It has been modified in general, yes. It has gone green. The temptation is to make it a different colour. Road Wars fan, your voice is so lovely to listen to. I wouldn't know this because it's in my head. Redhead Forster is there. Generally, I like a warm home, but I need a cool breeze blowing across my face in order to have a good night's sleep. Indeed. Cheers from Edmonton, Alberta. Laurie. Cheers back to you in Canada. What are you doing for Halloween? Very little, Brian Johnson. I couldn't even tell you when it is because I'll probably forget. It's not a big thing here. I did notice a house nearby dressed up for Halloween with lots of purple and orange lights. It looked pretty good lights, actually. Very bright. Thank you, Dion. I was going to say poltergeist. That's not right. Dion Potgieter. Hi from South Africa. How'd you get the nice photos of the circuit boards from reverse engineering? I use a Moto G6 Play camera. Very cheap, easily available because they're an older model now. And I use very good lighting. That's how I get the good pictures. Where'd you get your pens from for the schematics? I can't find a black ink one with purple body, Alan Hurst. That's because I buy the purple ones and then I refill them with black printer ink. That's why. Love your Clive. What's the occasion? Says Paul. It's just a random stream. It was slightly inspired by the fact that there were so many scammers on the comments. I just want to make sure. I know you guys are all pretty technical and intelligent. You're not going to get taken in by scams, but it's just to make you aware that there are people presenting themselves as being me in a very not very obvious manner, in a not very good manner, should I say. And it's just be aware of that, that it's not me. I've not run a handout in a long time because YouTube kind of made that difficult. Can I have a woofle just for me, please? Dennis, that's very selfish. Rather depressed and been made redundant this week. Dennis, being made redundant is a start to a new era. Now, I think, hold on, I'm going to scroll. It's missing things. Thank you, Foxtrot Lima. LEDs, LEDs, LEDs. There will be LEDs everywhere. Thousands of LEDs. Far too many LEDs, if you ask me. So, let me just scroll down and up and down because I've just... Hold on. He even accessed pens. Absolutely, James Randolph. You can get them in black. I just like the purple pen. Just thought, well, I'd like that with the black ink. Anything good to drink tonight? Guinness, Jason Myers. Clive's video refilling the pens. Indeed, Craig Matthews. There are a couple of videos on refilling the pens. You can also turn the tip round, but you have to actually cut it off flush at the end. Turn it round, you get a pointy one instead when it's jammed in. It's quite well made, quite a complex thing. Thank you, Deathly Darkness. I wonder if YouTube will suggest live videos to new users based on the frequency and amount of super chats. I'm not sure. You missed Dion Poetgator, 35 Zar donation. Hold on, I shall scroll back up. Things are coming in quite quick here. I can't even look away from the screen because of this. Hold on. Scrolling up. Message retracted. Dion. But thank you for your contribution, Dion. You're allowed to send the message again, right enough, but you don't have to pay for it, obviously. Scrolling down. It's, I have to say, yeah, this is quite busy tonight. How many are here at the moment? 1,144. That's typically what it is in a normal live stream, to be honest. Gets busy. Do you watch Mr. Carlson's Lab, Clive? Occasionally, yes, Lee Gooder. Any creamy shit light fittings from Poundland this year? I'm not really sure what Poundland has, John McFern. They didn't have much stock last time I was in. It's not really got back to normal yet. You always mention your van, but what kind of van is it, Brian Johnson? The van, which Ralph and me kind of share now, is a transit van. Love your beard, Woodward's fan. Why, thank you. I just let it grow wild. Are those massive reels of soda behind me, James? They are indeed. All lead-based. Shango66, I've come across Shango66, Timothy Ransby. It's him who got in touch when Jordan Peele's channel got taken down. Can you say hello to Summer again, please? Exploring Life. Hello, Summer. Oh shit, this is the main channel. It is indeed. That is correct. Thank you, Dean Podguiter. So you used to work in refrigeration. Any idea what the symptoms are for a partially clogged capillary tube? You might find a major temperature variation across or just impeded operation. They don't normally clog up. Sometimes it's ice can get in them. If moisture gets into the refrigerant, it can cause the capillaries to block up. If you let the whole system defrost, it may fix that. But it depends on the type of system. Normally in professional systems, it would be the TXV, the thermostatically controlled valve. But with domestic refrigeration, it just tends to be a restriction, an orifice, or a little bit of tube. I'm going to sneeze. I'm going to sneeze. No, I'm not going to sneeze. Yes, I'm going to sneeze. Is it going to go? It is. I'm not going to sneeze. What brand of fume extractor do I use when soldering? None. I do have one. Stationalist. I do have one, but I don't like it. It sits there going, and there's airflow, and all the fumes just keeps going straight up. I've never really had any luck with it, or any of the other ones I've tried it. Tried it indeed. What's your poison then? Anything ethanol, Emmanuel. Lots, yes. Is Scruff Dog here? Scruff Dog's got a live stream going out this weekend, I think. He'll be playing that strange adventure game, chasing pussycats around. Shouldn't your sign be saying BigClive.com? It should, but right now Big Clive is live. And this is the Big Clive live area. It can be programmed. Occasional crackle and sound when peaks John Dunn. That does happen. Were you working on the tattoo this year, Liam Connolly? I was indeed working on the tattoo this year. It was quite tough going. It was a lot more lights than normal, but not much to repair because it was all new lights, very fascinating lights. I really wanted to take some to bits. They would not let me take them to bits because they were sealed, hermetically sealed and pressurized, the new lights. And that will happen in the future. But spoiler for future, spoiler for me as well. I wouldn't mind looking at one of those lights because there's one that uses a laser stimulating a phosphor disc, spinning phosphor disc to create an incredibly sharp point of white light. Thank you, Robert Hindle. I know Isle of Man is a different country, but if you were the next UK Prime Minister covering, say, November, what one law would you introduce? Oh. What law would I introduce? Dad, I'm not sure about introducing laws. I think I'd stamp down quite heavily on the legal industry and general fraud. I might limit the number of properties people can own. The greedy landlords, the ones that are basically just treat their lodgers like shit. Basically, that's about all I can say there. I'd have to think that over. Karen's Law, absolutely. How's your week, Big Clive? The week was good, thank you, Electro Pancake. Do no harm. Yeah, Google said that. They don't seem to be holding up to that too well, do they? Got a Willy boys here. I thought I said gotten by the Willies boys. Yeah, that'd be quite odd. I think that I'd also consider saying introducing trade schools in the UK for kids at school so they could get a taste of trades and decide, this is quite good, I like this. Thank you. Kailasmira Wooding. Much appreciated. Aidan Spalding, thank you. Have you heard of the new supermarket Morrisburys? No, but I tell you what, our local supermarket here, the one I'm just back from, is ShopRite, but it actually stocks Sainsbury's. No offence intended, but you have the most British accent in the world. Do I really? I'm not sure I do, but I've got a very British accent, mid-annexy. It's a very BBC. Let's talk about the BBC. They are Capita, the company that collects the license fees. The Americans won't know what this is, probably. They've been putting more deception out, implying that you need a license to watch YouTube. That is not the case. Thank you, it's Big Wood. Much appreciated. I'll make a video about that one day. I've got loads of letters. Someone has submitted my details to the licensing authorities to stop me getting the letters. They've basically sent the form in that says I don't need a license. I wanted, those letters were the only company I had. It's okay, I've got a huge collection of them. Thank you, Hylian Overlord. Do you identify with Bluto? Yes, I do. Bluto is a big bear. Even if he was cartoon. Do you watch Eurovision? No. Snack. I see snippets of it, but I don't really watch TV, to be honest, so I wouldn't know. I see bits on YouTube. It's very camp. I don't get posted in my boat. That's reasonable enough, Jim. That's annoying. Do you go to the gym? I'm just back from the gym, mid-annexy. But I don't go there to build big muscles. I go there just to stay fit. Liz Edwards says, what's the time? Do you know what that means? It's time for flames. Brother Bluto was Animal House. There was Brother Bluto Gone to the Great. I remember that character. He didn't look very Bluto-ish, if you ask me. I'm speaking very quickly because there's so much happening. It's very hard keeping up. It's very active today. Although there are as many people here now as on the weekend streams, usually everybody's just spaced out in the weekend streams or having a drink and just chilling out, and it's a lot quieter in the chat. Even quieter still, there are the secret Patreon streams almost every Thursday. And they're very laid back. They're very manageable. Drive goes to the gym to get direction. Arthur Two Sheds Jackson. Clive goes to the gym to get to it. What? I walk to the gym. Clive should be the next Doctor Who. I'd be his arch nemesis, the Master. Rod, my child. None of this plain goodies. Goodies are boring. This is the Whiffler. It's 3D printed. It's severe abuse of 3D printing equipment. Stand by for your Whiffle. Get beard out of the way. Whiffle. Fireballs. Stand by for another Whiffle. Are you a licensed bacon, Clive? I don't know if you need a license for bacon. Go down, Australia. Good luck getting me to pay the BBC anything. Indeed, you don't need to. By the way, I used to live in Swanage, just across from Isle of Wight. I see. Babble, 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 babble. I should do oxygen hydrogen, shouldn't I? So it just detonates first. But as it is, do you go swimming to keep fit? There is the option to do that, John, but I don't do it. Mainly because the local swimming pool is full of old people's piss. I did not say that. It probably is. Lots of old people go there and float in the water. Yes. When are you going to get your soda stream out again? That, Clive, I really need to. I've got things to be soda streamed and things to be distilled, including the Irish cream is still sitting there waiting to be distilled because I know it's going to wreck the distiller. Swimming pools are bloody foul, yes, but they're important here, Arkady Petrov, because this is an island. It's surrounded by the sea. People get drunk, they fall in the sea, and it's good that people can swim, to be honest. You used to look a lot younger. That was 10 years ago, yes. Please show this the beauty in thingy, please, cool cat. I shall show you it. It is a 3D printed woofle. You can find this in Thingiverse. Other people have put it up. I will put it up myself at some point. It's sitting there ready to get released. This is a can of butane lighter gas. This is the woofler that sits on top. It has a little diffusion cone in it. Quite proud of the diffusion cone. It took a bit of 3D designing to get all the little things in that. It is not Saturday, Scary West. That is tomorrow's stream you're thinking of. You look the same, says Mr. Eggcake. I am ageless. Maybe I'm immortal. Who knows? Woofle. And then you light the foam and it goes, oh my god, it burst into flames. There you go. Fire. And apparently, if you have friends round, thank you, Soulstruck. It's certainly a good thing that diseases such as COVID cannot be transmitted via internet because I want to watch. Indeed. Are you right, starting right at the beginning here? Oh, he'll catch up later on if he's not here. When you invite friends and they go, oh, I'll put foam all over the ceiling and light it. That's a terrible idea. Thank you, Marco Dumont. Much appreciated. Woofle Fun contribution. If you want to see what happened to the ceiling, go and look for the Mummy ride in Universal Studios and see the flames rolling across the ceiling. That's what it looked like on my ceiling. Kevin, you were very bad. Have you lost your temper this week? Not really, though fuming is a normal thing for me. Where can I buy those organisers? These are Racco cabinets. It depends where you are in the world. RAACO. They either came from Rapid Electronics or from CPC in the UK. They're not too expensive. I think it's the 44 cabinet version with the big drawer at the bottom, the 3 smaller drawers, and then loads and loads of small drawers. And you can stack them. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here, and an anti-static one for all the delicate stuff. And catching up. Thank you, Ad Wyatt. Have you got plans or celebration 1 million subscribers? I didn't celebrate 100,000 or 500,000. It just kind of happened, and because I don't plan these things in advance, I mean, maybe I should do something special, but goodness knows when that's going to happen. It varies in speed all the time. Thank you, Bulletproof Mum. Rum fun time, been a while. Cheers, Clive. Thank you. I shall put that towards the rum stocks. Greetings back to Poland, Michael. Or Michal. Where are you hiding the sex bots? They'll be out in due course. A big black mark in my garage sale from Pyrotechnics, James Randolph. I almost burnt one of my employer's places down with pyrotechnics using fireworks indoors. Things went wrong. I think Home Base do storage out £10, just bloody orange, serious. This is proper metal cabinets with the deep plastic drawers. So I do kind of recommend proper electronic components storage cabinets. But these ones aren't anti-static. The anti-static ones cost an absolute fortune. Do you see my messages at least, Servant? Yes, I do, 8. Servant 8, yes. Stone Password, you're a huge inspiration to me to get into being an electrician. This is good. That's the biggest reward I could have, is people tell me stuff like that. 1 million subscribers for Rubbermaid. No, Raven Looney. No. I don't know if they do the costumes that big, and it would be very odd. And everybody would unsubscribe if I did that. I don't believe in ESD, K-Panic. I have blown a chip off, I think, with ESD in the past. But a most inconvenient chip that involved a lot of travel to get the other one programmed. When was the last time you trimmed the length of your beard? Keith Austin, just before the video started, because it was down about here, but a bit all fluffy, and I thought I should square it up so at least I look like the Avatar. Oh, Alt Brown did a live stream charcoal barbecue from inside his house this week. Okay, Chen Earth Air Guns. I tried using a barbecue on a shop I was working at the time. I was working at the refitting of a shop in Edinburgh. And instead, my co-workers said, that's a terrible idea, do outside. So I had my self-igniting, you know, those tray barbecues with the wax-covered coals that self-ignite, the smoke. It was on Frederick Street or Shandwick Place or something like that in Edinburgh. And it was at night time, we were doing night shift. There was smoke belching out, the police and everything turned up. Very embarrassing. These things happen. It's normal. What's been your favourite electronics project to date? Randomest mechanic. That's very hard to pin down. Very hard to pin down. Thank you, Lucas Pekush. That's quite a hard one to pronounce. Lucas Pekush. Thanks for your channel. Wish you the best. Why, thank you for that. Are you on Twitter? Not really, Stephen Neville. The only reason I've got a Twitter account is to take down the fake Twitter account that was masquerading as me. That was how I celebrated 100,000 subscribers. Was it candle wax that caused something more nasty? It was candle wax, I think, Servant 8. It was very stinky and like badly burning candles. With 1 million subscribers, you need to have a collab with Naomi. That's a good idea, John McFern, but actually maybe go to China for that. Shave your beard for 1 million subs? No, not at all. Not at all, not modelling. Toby Live, Facebook is down currently, I believe. Well, that's refreshing. That will give people another outlook on life then. What else are they going to talk about? There's so much to talk about, including things that are potentially coming up. I don't want to take this one to bits, but you know what? It's nice. Ultraviolet lamp, but based on the warm white filaments, but without the phosphor, so it's that deep violet filament. It's pretty good, actually. And this is the alternative. This is one that's based on the standard chips, but not with the linear current regulator, because they can't really do that, because these are just single chip chips, because I guess they don't do the multi-chip ultraviolets. They must be able to do that. Coffee or moonshine, Herman Bester? It's coffee at the moment, but moonshine is fine as well. Candle wax hurts a lot and sensitive skin, don't do it. That's if it's molten. Turn them on. I can't really turn them on right now without going getting the plug and walking away from the computer, and then it's missing acknowledging super chats, things like that. It's all whizzing up. Is your DMX Arcline interface finish? Well, I did the DMX Arcline interface for a show, Peter Voss. It was used. Thank you, Crazy Oregon Beaver. I had a wonderful scotch, came from the Element. Oh right, was it white by any chance? Because they do have the Manex spirit. Let me think, what am I looking at here? Where is it? Oh, there it is. How do you sort your components? Very disorganizedly. It's all done. Greetings, William Isted. It's all done. The resistor, the sort of like the denomination values: 10k, 100k, 1 megohm, and downwards. How much cash to remove your beard for charity? It will not be removed. There will be other ways to support charity, Wayne Mail. Proper charities, real ones. Careful, Clive, you're almost one of those old people. I am one of those old people, the grumpy people, John Robinson. Solar panel, this is something worth grumping about. Thank you, Dion. We know nothing about the LEDs in your shirt. The LEDs in the shirt, this is made by Mouse. I think it's, no, he does manufacture them, not a kit. If you go down into the description down below, you'll find flashy things. That's because he also does much bigger versions that are all around me here, and the other supercomputers. I was going to say look at my earlier streams and you'll see them, but to be honest, most of them have been hidden now because of Karen's potentially targeting them for statements that were made. Drunken outspokenness. Anyway, the listing on eBay showed double the size. Basically, the solar panels were touching. So a bit disappointing this arrived. Not even test it yet. Did get a partial refund for it, even though I thought I was going to get duped. Big Olive, Clive. True story. When I went to America ages ago with a fairground company to see a trade show there, the trade pass that they filled out, they handed me over once they'd made it, and it said Olive. I don't think they knew of the name Clive. 10 volt a panel? No. This is 5 volt. It's got a little USB output in the back here. And from the look of it, I got a partial refund, and I'll take it to bits and then Slade, just say, if you buy these, be aware. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 5.5 volts per panel. I think they're all in parallel. That's assuming they're all connected at all. Where's the smoke, Clive? Adams says, the smoke? Mouse Spears also available post to the USA, though postage rate is a bit stiff. Nigel Gunn, all postage to America is hideous. It's unfeasible. You can thank Mr. Trump for that. He did something terrible that was aimed to penalise the Chinese, but ended up penalising every other country as well at the same time. The other thing, there'll be a video about this shortly because I got scammed on eBay. Normally I deliberately buy scammy things. This one was supposed to be an ozone generator. It turns out that it contains a small piezoelectric disc and isn't an ozone generator. It isn't even a very good insect and bug repeller. The seller of this, I challenged that, and they were. I'm polite when I send messages like this. They were extremely rude and blunt. I think it was an old person, and yeah, eBay had to step in and do a refund on it, which they did instantly. He didn't want it back and said he'd sold lots of them. Well, you've scammed lots of people then, because what you're selling isn't what it says in the box. Did I sleep till Saturday at Killar? That Saturday is tomorrow. Do you still use a funnel for trim your beard, Fat Blokes Ferguson? Yes, I do. I also refund overages when posting multiple items stacks up badly, Mouse. That's what I used to do as well. I used to refund postage and things like that. It is a Friday stream, Mercury Vapor, on the main channel. Do you have a recommendation for a starter oscilloscope? It's a bit tricky. Corey Baker, it depends what you want to do. You can get the cheap LCD oscilloscopes. You can get the bigger digital ones. I'm not an expert in that area. I do have a few scopes. That my main scope is a Keysight oscilloscope, which was gifted by Keysight for the channel. So that would be an unfair, that's not a budget one. An old person, probably over 40, indeed, a Kirka, yes. Can you look at the ImageSco UFO Detic? Cool shows. Not sure what that is. Never mind smoke, where's the Jägermeister? The Jägermeister happens on the hour. It is in the drawer, although having said that. So someone earlier on was saying, they'd been made redundant, they were a bit down. Let's have an intermediate Jägermeister. A Jäger meaning, is it Dennis? I'm not sure, can't remember the name, but don't worry about it. You'll find a new job, you absolutely will, and it'll probably be better. So cheers. When I went self-employed, the very nature of being freelance meant you were laid off all the time. So you just got used to it. It's fine. My co-workers in Hussman, because it was always good to finish a job and get some time off, I told them to they could say what they want. They could say, "You're fired." I was fine with that. Because that meant holiday time for me. And it was kind of, I hope someone doesn't phone me up and offer me work. Going freelance and working for other companies as a freelance technician works really well. It worked for me. It was unexpected, and I didn't plan it. It happened. Monkey Archer, can you build a powerful vertical outdoor laser? Solar-powered alien beacon flash, Big Clive welcomes you, Morse code. We pretty much had that on the T2 this year. We had lights that shone such tight beams into the sky that despite getting in touch with the Civil Aviation Authority, they kept complaining. Because we were doing weird shit and firing mega beams into the sky. We did that quite a lot this year, to be fair. If I knew you were doing shots of Jaeger today, I would have picked some up, says James Randolph. Indeed. Plenty of jobs going to Isle of Man, Michael Bolton. They're always like trying to find, but I'm not really sure. The Isle of Man, it's mainly financial jobs. But they always seem to have a shortage of technical people. But actually I'm surprised in maybe they're just not looking for the right people or making it lucrative enough to actually do that. Jewel Thief, are axials inductors alternative toroidal? You could try that, Hiberta rectangulam, but it's always been toroidal. Even the first person that originally came up with the Jewel Thief before I gave it its name, he wound it in a small toroidal core. I think it's just more efficient doing it in a toroidal. Fnirse, that's a oscilloscope brand name, Raven Linney. Aha. Ben warned I could blow up a chocolate Santa. I was looking at a chocolate Santa today and I was wondering if there's ones that looks like an insertable object. Some of them are. PokerStar's the one who tried to get 10 people over. I wouldn't really think that, Andy Buckley. I know, like, one of the head honchos for the data security. He's so geeky. He is so geeky. You go to the pub, if you meet him, all he does is talk about networking, which is interesting in its own right. But he doesn't ever let slip with any security details, which is good. Oh, there's a sex bot. Thank you, Brenton Sword. That not you, Brenton Sword. Beer and me, thank you. Oh, Tinder hot. XYZ. Nice. Your voice helps my anxiety. Is that weird, MJ? A lot of people use my voice to chill out and relax. That's fine by me. Oh, the sex bots are out in force at the moment. Sorry to the moderators. When's the next NBC? Not sure. June has been on Sober October, and then he's travelling in November, so goodness knows. Need to go now. Bye-bye. Have a good one. Live long and prosper. Catch you about, Road Wars fan. Did someone just do a mute speedrun? What? It's fun like sport. Aha. I haven't a clue what that context to right now. I'm sure Clive could build a better sex bot. Yes, cameratim.com. I think you can buy them on eBay. I'm not a moderator here, just so you know. Right here. That's reasonable enough. Because, of course, it's a different channel. Scottish accent, one of the most relaxing and trustworthy. Mostly trustworthy, lost Scotsman. What's the temperature, Clive? It's swelteringly hot. It's probably about at least 15 degrees Celsius here. Randomist mechanic, after watching your Fanny Flambeau video, which was quite some time ago. Fanny Flambeau is through there somewhere. I've been hanging about since something like that. Have you seen Spintronics, Mark Forster? Not sure. They have 5-volt 500 milliamp on AliExpress, Bunny Love. Are you talking power supplies? Or the solar panels? Don't take that too seriously, the ratings, because I think a lot of these panels are just making up ratings and possibly the best case scenario. What's the worst electric shock I've ever had? Mike from Devon. It was in a supermarket in front of lots of people, actually in front of a barrier gate. It was a land on your ass and trying not to whimper sort of electric shock with sparks. Oh well, these things happen. Thank you, Cool Shows 101. Much appreciated. Image Go UFO detector is what I meant to say. Oh, right, okay, a UFO detector. That sounds a bit like the paranormal stuff. Just so you know, there's 15 minutes of this stream to go. Where we're going, we don't need spanners, indeed, Anon. You've got to make your remote control boat. Brian Johnson. It's whizzing up. Did you whimper, Mr. Eggcake? I did my best not to whimper, but the first woman who walked through the barrier after I'd rushed up the steps to disconnect it, come back down, pulled the automatic barrier open and slumped down behind it, she leant over and said, "You got an electric shock, didn't you?" Yes, that is correct, madam. I did get an electric shock. That's what all the sparks are about, madam. And me throwing it into the air, yes, and flying backwards. That was correct, yes. Very observant of you. How's your mum doing, by the way? She is dead, Sam Valiant, so that's not a great answer, really. She died a while ago after lasting a long time. It was a relief. It lasted so long, it was a relief when she finally passed. Do you have a P.O. box? No, I do not, Pistol Knight. Otherwise, people would send lots of stuff to it, which is a terrible idea. How long did it take to grow your beard, Peter Eden? It's quite a slow growing beard. It takes a couple of years. Again, if I hadn't deleted most of the videos in the live channel, you'd have been able to see when I dyed it jet black, and then as it gradually grew back out again. Thank you, Hylian Overlord. Do you have a multi-tool you always carry? Only when I'm on specific events, and it's usually a Leatherman. There is a stream tomorrow, Mr. Eggcake, on the other channel, Big Clive Live, which is linked to in the description down below. As featured up here, just search YouTube for Big Clive Live. That is the time here, by the way, but you'll notice the minutes are the same, but not the hours wherever you are, in most instances. Oh no, I'm really sorry. No, that's fine. Thank you, Shad. Love your content. Please be encouraged to continue. I will be encouraged. There's no sign of stopping. I've been making too many videos. My apologies to the patrons. they've been getting a video every day at the moment. It's too many videos, to be honest. Was your mother the queen? Just asking. She was a queen in her own way, Favorito. She was my mum's, my brother's, and myself's queen. That's all we needed. Sorry that my father died of motor neurons. His relief when he eventually died for him to absolutely cool cat. It's a horrible way to go, but as a result of that, I made the video about Alzheimer's, which has helped a lot of people. Can you see Blackpool from the Isle of Man? Michael Hornby, I believe you can on a clear day. I'm not exactly sure which way to look there for that. Loving the LED badge. The LED badge, the little supercomputer badge, each LED is independent. That's made by Mouse and sold on Etsy in the description down below. But you can make your own as well. Let me just see if I can find one of the other supercomputers. Scrolling down. Blythe like the city. Thank you. What is a fairground company, pray tell? A fairground company supplies, well, the fairground company I hung about with there was the Cadonas that ran fairgrounds. And I ended up building light and control equipment for them. Cyrus was Ruth when my gran died, mad as a box of frogs before she was ill, indeed. Yes. Ralph being a funeral director, he used to work Christmas Day to cover for the people who had families. Thank you, Alexandru Armin. Love the passion and technical insight. Thank you. My brother used to be the funeral director that worked Christmas Day because did you work in roller coasters? I worked in control systems. I tried avoiding working roller coasters, Mr. Eggcake. It's a bit of a liability minefield working roller coasters, particularly when they crash and people die. But Ralph used to work the Christmas shift, the Christmas Day shift, so that the other undertakers could have a day off with their families. And it varied. Some people he went to, they were distraught on Christmas Day that a family member had died. Others, it was like their granny had died and it was the best Christmas ever for some of them because she was completely loony at the end. Thanks, Chuckster, much appreciated. Clive, any plans to visit the USA? I would love to visit the USA again. Hopefully in the near future. I'll probably start with Las Vegas, to be honest, for all the lights. Maybe Florida. I bet your parents plot the most... there are no parents, BRM bug. But no, I don't have as many solar lights as people seem to think I do. I was looking for the supercomputer. There's a supercomputer. That is an Avalanche as well as a supercomputer. Supercomputers are a large wall of flashing LEDs. Could you do more tests of RF interference and cheap Chinese stuff? It's a bit specialist, Monty, but yes, most cheap Chinese stuff does emit huge quantities of interference. Have you been to Holland? Says Christian Janssen. I have been to the Netherlands with the fairground. I used to travel the fairground doing technical stuff just because that's the way things unexpectedly turned out. Big Clive is a carny. Have you ever set your beard on fire? Yes, Pete Jury. I've singed it on many occasions. I've even set fire to it on live streams. Hold on. Any loose straggly hairs? Let's burn them with electricity. Oh, there it goes. Yes, it's combustible. You can light it with high voltage electricity. Don't go to Atlanta, says Saul Goodman. Okay. Not a moderator in this channel, so can't link. There is a link to your shop, if that's what you're talking about, on in the description down below. But you are a moderator now anyway. Went to a festival in Vegas recently, TPD TV. All right, Jamal Turan. That's the worst time to go to Las Vegas is during big events because the cost of hotels goes through the roof. I've found that. Even day by day, the price can dramatically vary. What do you reckon to collab photonic induction? Yes, I'd do that. Randomist mechanic. I don't know what he's doing these days. He keeps busy as an electrician. Daniel Marvel, Clive, what's your favourite plug socket? That's a complex question to ask, but power-wise, globally, I'd say the traditional British square pin plug is one of the best designed. That's not just because I'm British. Do you put pat-tested stickers and things in your bungalow? No, I don't, but I do pat-test stuff when I get specific things because I think it's an important thing to do. Do you believe in smart home products? And Wyatt, no, I don't. I think there's too much electronics being introduced into the house and they're not very secure, some of them. Thank you, Keith Austin, much appreciated. Jägermeister or whiskey, Max Urban, each has its own merits. Whiskey and cream soda for me, but not drunk directly. Luke Morrison, I loved the dementia video live. Thank you. Appreciated. Just don't pat live terminals. Yes, cameratim.com will avoid that. British standards bullshit. They're getting a bit extreme, Willie Arma, but they have their place. But they are getting a bit extreme. All regulations are getting a bit extreme. I didn't know you were lesbian. Thank you, Daniel. LGBT, indeed, Daniel. Bear to the core. What are you calling yourself, Big Clive? What's big? What, Andrew? Why are you calling yourself Big Clive? Would you like to see why I call myself Big Clive? Okay, hold on. Door frames. Door frames. I'm 6'4" and weigh approximately a quarter of an imperial ton at 250 pounds. Ex-Jet, I love regulations. I welcome our regulatory overlords, as do other people who have nothing useful to contribute to technology. That was a bit scathing. I did actually consider other things that to keep. Oh, right, okay, here's the next subject. God, there's so many things to cover. I've only got 7 minutes left. Common misconception, I'll maybe feature this in a video. In a recent video, I featured the vapes, the vape batteries being cascaded together, put in with a TP4056 board, like these little boards here. And, hold on, catching up. But a common misconception is that you can't recharge batteries and draw current from at the same time with the TP4056. That's not true. It does look, an imperial ton is, right, okay, I'm not quarter imperial ton then, that would be quite a lot. I'm quite, 250 pounds then. I thought an imperial ton was £1,000. I'm wrong then, I don't usually use tons. Are you a Time Lord? Yes. But anyway, thank you, BRM Bug. Many of the plots where Mum is laid to rest in rural Texas, a few solar lights them. They even put up light crosses. I have seen the solar and the battery-powered grave lights. Quite interesting. Andy Chip, thank you. Much appreciated. So you can charge this while it's running lights. Thank you, Broken Eggs. Thanks all for all the great content. Much appreciated. You can run the lights off this while it's charging. It will not overcharge the cell. It will go up to 4.2 volts. That's it. It will just seem to keep charging because of the current that's being drawn is more than a tenth of the current it's set for. Just a wee red light will stay on because now it's powering the LEDs. So know that you can use this in event of an emergency as a permanent security light that will just stay lit in the event of a power cut. Thank you, Kenneth Evoy. I donate from Canada because my wife is hot. Thank you. Look forward to the chip charge and run thing. Chip charge and run thing. Serious. I'm trying to think what that is now. Did you find the resistor rating for that through Trial and Error for turned up 28 for the LED intensity or setting the current? There is a data sheet for the TP4056. I think the TP405 data sheet is on one of the common electronic websites. Thank you, Keith Austin. Best and worst tasting things you've soda streamed. Everything tasted pretty good in its soda stream, to be honest. Jaeger Munion. Another toast to you all for appreciating what I do. Thank you. 6'6", also an eighth of a ton. Should I be Big Tom? You should, Tom Miller. You should be Big Tom, Big Tom, Big Bad Tom. The stream has 4 minutes to go. Is there a model can use to charge via USB and solar? Yes. If you take the TP4056, it's got these modules. They've got two pads here, a solar panel, 6-volt solar panel, diode in series. Just stick it on. You can charge with both. It should be fine. One or the other. Ever checked out the 433 megahertz wireless key fob relay switch from Amazon? I've featured a few, yes. Multi-elevator. I have featured those in the past and have more, but I've made too many videos about them, so I I stopped making videos about them momentarily. Thank you, Frank Vera. Are you willing to do a collab video with Electroboom Great Scott or Steve Moe? That sounds reasonable enough to me. I'm up for most of these things. We should probably, hopefully, be doing another online meetup. We did that in the past. It's over on EEV Blogs channel. Bailey's ice cream didn't carbonate too well. It didn't, but it was still edible, Stephen Simpson. How did you get to be so good at reverse engineering? By doing it, MD Paver, but it helps if you understand the circuitry. 2 minutes to go in the stream, but I'll be back tomorrow on the other channel. Just so you know, but it'll probably be a bit looser, slacker and ruder, probably, and there'll be alcohol, as sometimes happen. I think I've done a bit of coding for PIC, etc. I have, indeed, Greenham. I have written assembly code for PIC microcontrollers when needed. Collab with me, Mr. Eggcake. Not sure. I'm not sure what your speciality is, Mr. Eggcake. Thank you for inspiring me to embrace out trunks, Clive. You're doing a sterling job, Alan Hurst. This is good. Now, did I miss anybody? On the super chats, it's always embarrassing if I miss people. It's just, I see other people doing live streams and they just ignore the super chats completely. That seems so rude. I don't like to miss out at all. So if I've missed you, I apologise profusely. It's greatly appreciated. When is the Patreon live stream? It tends to be on a Thursday, Fox or Bread. For about 2 hours typically. It used to be 3 hours or more for all the streams, but I've tamed them down to 2 hours because by the time you get to the end of 2 hours, it really goes very bad because alcohol has been involved. And then I say things like blowing up governments and things like that. And then it's just terrible. I'm just emoting what you feel. Have to pay to be seen? No, Mr. Wizard, you don't. It's just, it just sticks out a bit more. Liz Edwards, will you end up with a poofle? I could end up with a poofle for you, Liz. Because everybody wants flames anyway, don't they? I've just spilled this all over myself. It's all right. It's just wash up like good. Is there a military receiver all bands? I'm not a specialist in radios. He says terrible, we say hilarious. Indeed, it is hilarious, but it is also terrible. Thank you, Sirius, because it is rude. It is very rude. Whiffle. Oh, maybe another one as well. The ceiling is quite close, but it is flame treated. Lightning capital of the world, Florida. We've had some amazing lightning here. The bubbles are coming out everywhere in this. I'm worried about this. Oh no. Oh wow, it did. But anyway, the stream is now coming to an end. I hope you enjoyed it. My apologies if I didn't read out your comment. There were more comments than I could actually read out, even speaking very quickly. So I'll maybe catch that if you want to join us the stream tomorrow. It's the same time, but tomorrow and on the other channel. In the meantime, thank you for tuning in, and I shall catch you on the main channel with the normal video releases, and have a good time. I'll press the button.